You're using social media, but you're unable to turn your followers into customers. What do you do? In this conversation with Coach Lenny V, fitness trainer, online coach, we dive deep into the strategies that you can implement for your business and social media to turn your followers into customers. Let's dive in. Yeah, very clever use of the platforms, honestly. You touched on that TikTok is not a platform that you get many conversions on. So I wanted to ask, how has social media and content marketing helped you grow your online business, specifically turning followers into leads? What are some of the things that you've learned about that process?
From turning what? Sorry, customers into lead.
Turning followers into
leads.
customers or
Yes,
leads or customers.
Yeah, good question. I've found so far on my journey that in order to purchase something from you, in terms of you want to do a 12-week transformation, something that's going to cost you, you need to gain that trust. You need to gain that trust, because if you don't have that trust, they're not going to buy from you. And trust is built over time. You can't just sell a 12-week transformation when someone's seen one reel. They're not going to fork out the money for it. They don't have that trust. So most of my clients at the minute are coming from people who know me. They went to school with me. They played football with me. They know me from my network of friends. They trust me because they've met me. They know that I'm a switched on guy. I can deliver a result. They've seen my testimonials. They've spoken to me. They know what I'm about. But when you get someone who's cold, you need to warm them up. It's the same thing. Like if you meet a girl for the first time, you got to warm them up. They're not going to want to date you straight off the bat. You got to warm these leads up. Otherwise, you just scare them off. So it's we're creating a funnel at the moment where we're getting a free lead and bulk masterclass, telling our client or our prospective clients exactly how to do what we preach, how to transform your body lean, stay lean while also bulking and building muscle. So that's something that we're actively working on putting out in the next week or two, which has been a long process, but I'm fairly certain that'll be a very rewarding process. If someone sees a reel, for instance, and they're like, okay, I like this guy, but I want to see a bit more. So, okay, now you've got this option to then go and see this masterclass where we basically just tell you everything that we know, and we show our transformations, we show exactly what to do, the process behind it, and then they go, okay, well, I like this. This is for me. Then we call them, and then we convert from there. So, but again, we're starting to tap into it, and we've signed a few clients up who I haven't known personally over the last few weeks, and which has been exciting because now we're tapping into that colder market, or initially cold market, of people who are not friends, and then now it's like, okay, this is working. So let's keep doing more of the same. We'll still get friends and ex-colleagues and whatnot along the way, I'm sure, but the cold market is where, the initially cold market is where it's at. Tap into that,
right?
The sky's the limit.
So then you are doing a mix of reach content that's maybe a bit more quote unquote viral or easily digestible, and then a mix of content that's more so to nurture the audience that you have, and then content where you go for conversion and you have maybe a promotion and you can lead people into master classes where you can nurture them a little bit more into making a sale.
Exactly that. It's a mixture of content. There is I call the action potentially would be drop us a follow, because the more followers you have, the more reach you're going to get. Getting people to download, or not even download, getting people to go and use our free calorie calculator so they can get their calories, go and watch our lean bulk masterclass. But then also just, nurturing your existing followers as well, and just giving them value, and a mixture of that alongside, trying to get eyes on you, eyeballs on your content as well. So we've done a few things where we've, put people like, The Rock and Logan Paul, because that at the end of the day draws attention. Now, whether I think we've done that in the best possible way, I'm not sure, but at least we know that using these people, it gets eyeballs. So it's just a mixture of getting eyeballs and then nurturing them and actually providing value. Providing value is the biggest thing, because if you hook them and then you don't provide that value by the end of the hook, then they're not going to watch your videos the second time or the third time they see your content. So what I'm learning is, yeah, you got to hook. If you don't hook, it's a shit post. But once you hook, actually provide something that they can actually take away and implement in their next session or at home with their food or whatever it is.
Exactly. And that's what creates savable and shareable content, right? Providing that value, hook. I love how you're using influencers or relevant people right now as ways of hooking people in. I was having this conversation with a friend where I kind of, the way I see it is like if you're in a room of 100 people and they're all kind of dispersed and little groups start forming, maybe one group is talking about one topic and that group will have 10, 15 people. Versus maybe another group will only have 2 or 3 people talking about another topic. If you want to talk to more people throughout the night, going to those larger groups and participating in those conversations that are relevant, that are attracting people, are a phenomenal way of reaching more people. And then those conversations will change throughout the night, and you may join different groups as you go. But sometimes starting your own group could be a little bit challenging at first. But joining the current conversations on social media is definitely a really good strategy to be relevant, for lack of a better word, right?
100%. Be relevant, be entertaining, provide value. Those 3 things. If you can tick those 3 things, I think that's a key to success really in the content game.
Yeah. How would you differentiate a piece of content that is meant for reach versus a piece of content that is meant to nurture? Like, in part of your strategy, of your way of doing things, how would you make that content differently?
Yeah, so a reach potentially is, again, using someone, like we said, like a celebrity person that is relevant in today's society. Maybe saying something that's a bit outlandish to kind of grasp that attention from a wider variety, get people speaking, get people talking. But then nurturing, I find, is, what protein powder should you buy? What is a life hack that's going to help you to build muscle? So all these things, just the speaking about something and getting eyeballs is very different, I feel, to just telling him, what the best way to go about something is. So basically sparking conversation and then just providing value. So that would be the main thing. I definitely am learning to just try and provide value with every post, because even if you are sparking conversation about something, you are talking about The Rock, you still have to provide some sort of value. Otherwise, again, you're probably not going to get that reach the second time you mention someone else. So yeah, that would be my biggest differentiating factor for sure. How about yourself? That's something I haven't really thought about really out loud, but I guess it's something what I do with my content without realizing.
Yeah, right. Definitely. I mean, we're kind of on the same page. Right now, we are on our second batch of creating content, because our social media business itself is relatively new, though Jaz and I have been in content creation for over 15 years. But it hasn't been focused on social media marketing. So we've worked with a bunch of brands, bunch of entrepreneurs. I can't even count how many clients, but it hasn't been just focused specifically on social media. So we're gathering all that. And now what we're working on is to be able to share that value and also blend it with that reach content. For the things that we find for us that work a lot is the dynamic duo or the power couple dynamic. Because we've noticed that a lot of people like to see other couples. They like to see how the other couples work together or function together, or their humor or their personality traits. So we're using that to our advantage. The fact that we are married, we have a business that we run together, tends to be what kind of attracts people in a certain way. So we have a personal brand, but our brand is more so a shared personal brand on the Awake Abroad Media side. And we are now putting some attention into creating our own individual personal brands to diversify that. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this conversation valuable, appreciate it if you can click the subscribe button, the like button, and that bell notification so you don't miss out on the next ones. Peace.